And hello, back with Business 3502 Investments. This is Chapter 8, and we are looking at question number 30. So, pardon for some scribbles. The information given in our textbook, Zello Corp, let's get this a bit closer, has a bond outstanding. Its par value is 1,000. The maturity is in exactly 5 years. It has a 7% coupon paid semi-annually, and current price is 960. So underneath this, first we're asked to compute just current yield. Well, current yield is very simple, which is our 7% or $70 at 960. So calculating that, 70 that's our coupon divided by 960 is exactly 7%. I should set that to 4 decimal points. But what's more important for this question is part 2, which is calculate yield to maturity for the bond. And for thoroughness, we should say this is actually approximately 7% and exactly to 4 decimal points 0.0729 or 7.29%. The reason I should have had 4 decimal points set. Okay, but what we're doing now is other calculator function to calculate bonds yield to maturity. And for this, if you're using the Texas Instruments BI calculator, the functions we're going to require is time, present value. I missed a box. Payment. And begin. Time, present value, future value, annual payment, and set the calculator to begin, and we'll solve for interest rate. So, setting this out, number of periods is 5 years times 2 payments equals 10. I over Y is what we're going to calculate. Present value is given as information, so minus 960. Future value is 1,000. And payments, again now, 7% yield is $70 total during the year. 2 payments, so set payment at 35. Okay, let's try this. So 10, enter for N, 960, and negative for present value, 35 for payment, 1,000 for future value, and compute I over Y. Interest is approximately 3.99, and remembering double that to get annual yield, approximately 7.99, or what our answer grid says is the yield to maturity is approximately 8%. So that gives us A and B, parts 1 and parts 2 for question question number 30 of chapter 8. Okay, there's a part 3, so let's set that up as well. So same information holds, that it's Zello, Zello Corp, and now we can do this in just simple form. It's a 7% par $1,000 bond maturing in 5 years. Okay, the question asks realized compound yield an investor has a 3-year holding period a reinvestment rate of 6%, and at the end of the period the bond will sell to yield 7%. Okay, this quite a bit more complicated for this. So let's set this out as a cash flow exercise. And the way I've set this up is year 1, part 1, year 1, part 2, year 2, 1 again, year 2, second part, year 3, second part for year 3. In each period, we're going to receive $35. And the aggregate of that, of course, is our $70 yield on the bond. In this case, our reinvestment rate is 6%, but we're looking at half-year periods, so we're going to change that to semi-annual, and we have 5 compounding periods. So setting this 1.03 and to the 5 is going to give us 1.16. So our reinvestment then on $35 is equal to $40.57. We work through then for the second piece. $1.03, but only 4 periods, and that solves to 1.1255 and gives us a present value of $39.99. For the third period, our present value is 1.092, and that's going to compound to $38.25. For year 3, part 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4 periods, and this is 1.03 now squared. Our compounding factor 1.0609, giving us 3713, and now we have 1.03 to the 1 if you wish, and 3605. Now in our last period, remember our bond matures, so we have $35 plus the $1,000 value for the bond. It's a 7% coupon. It's going to sell to yield 7%, so that tells us it's going to have face value of par value of $1,000. Oops, sorry, I'm thinking. So our cash flows for all of these periods, $35, but reinvested at 6% annually, or 3% semi-annually compounded, will give us a present value of $40.57. Or if you wish, in other words, compounding $35 for 5 periods at a 3% semi-annually will have a future value of $40.57 in 3 years. So the same for all of our different pieces. Okay, so then it's a matter just of summing these. 40.57 plus 39.39 plus 38.25 plus 37.13 plus 36.05 plus our maturity value gives us aggregate value of 1226.39. So what this tells us is, and we could use then any value we wished at par value in 3 years. If you think of a timeline, we have 5 years to maturity, or 10 payment periods. We're going to hold it for 3 years, or 6 payment periods. So we receive 6 dividend payments. These compound during the period at 6% annually, or 3% semi-annually. Each dividend that we receive over time, we hold to compound to its future value. At the end of our 3 years, we receive a $35 payment, we receive $1,000 for selling the bond, so our future value $1,035 in 3 years, and the summation of all of this is $1,226.39. So it shows us the value of the coupons and the value of the sale at the future value. Now, part 3 also asks us to calculate the yield to maturity at year 3. Market price starting at $9.60 and future value of $1,000. But again, that's just back to filling in this and changing our timeline. So we'll leave that for now. So it gives us a perspective on holding period returns from question 30, chapter 8.